Welcome. Thank you so much for joining the aromatic blending. It's an introductory session and then this leads on into the full-length workshops and webinars and courses and things that we do called aromatic blending and aroma essentials. So I'm Laura Abel. I'm the founder of Harriet Herbery and the Apothecary Box. I'm an aromatherapist and I've been using essential oils for around 30 years and loving everything that smells pretty and all things herbal for about 40 years, which is how old I am. So yes, since I was a baby, I just love things that smell nice, especially essential oils, because not only do they smell nice, they are fantastic for you. So what is aromatherapy? It's the practice of using the natural oils that are extracted from parts of the plant, so from flowers, the bark, the stems, the roots, the leaves, and then once they're extracted, they can help to enhance psychological and physical well-being. So the inhaled aroma from essential oils is widely believed to stimulate brain function. And then, of course, essential oils can also be used topically and they're absorbed through the skin, where they travel through the bloodstream and can promote whole body healing. What is aromatherapy? We can use it for a variety of applications. So we can use it for pain relief, we can use it for mood enhancement, increased cognitive function, and then of course we can use it in subtle aromatherapy, which we do through energy work. So you're using really small doses of it then to connect on a more energetic basis. It's a really lovely way to use it. The different smells and chemical constituents of aromatherapy oils, so they can produce different emotional and physiological reactions. So basically, aromatherapy works through two main channels. So we've got the olfactory system, which is up through when you smell it and it enters through your nose and then goes into your brain. It's a bit more complicated than that, but that's the 101. And then, of course, through topical absorption, so it goes through the skin pores. When we're looking at blending essential oils, we need to look at dilution. In the full-length webinar and workshops, we go through a range of the essential oil profiles and we go through a bit more of the intensive dilution rates for specific oils. But for the purposes of this, we'll have a look at some dilution rates shortly that you can use at home on your friends and family and yourself. So essential oils are very concentrated and potent. Need to point this out. My mantra is less is more. So they should never be applied in pure undiluted form to the skin. They should always be properly diluted. And there's different dilution levels that should be used depending on which oils you're using and how you're using them and who you're using them on. So just always remember to check each essential oil for its suitability on the person. Generally, you'll be able to find the maximum sort of dose of how they should be diluted. And of course, remember that there's a lot of oils that aren't suitable for babies, children, pregnant women, or the elderly. Same with some essential oils, people who have heart conditions. So always really good to check the essential oils for their contraindications. So always become familiar with them prior to using the oils. And feel free to ask questions to me as well. Here's some of the dilution rates that I recommend. So you don't need to do any more than a 3% dilution. If you're working with kids, 1% would be maximum for sort of the ages up to 4 or 5. This is for home use. Quite often for very small children, you might use a 0.25% dilution. So I've put the dilution rates up there. You can print that slide out if you can. Otherwise, hop over into our Facebook group, which I'll show you at the end, and that's downloadable from in there as well. This infographic, and there's about 40 more of them that are in the course notes for the extended webinar on the blending workshop. And they're good. You can print them off and then just keep them beside wherever you're blending. So, basic blending. So we're looking at three things here. We've got the chemistry of the oil, the desired action, and the sequence of the blend. So the chemistry of the oil determines the volatility, the viscosity, and all of the properties of the oil. So you need to consider all of those things when you're mixing your essential oils. The desired action is what you want this oil blend to do. So blending correctly allows for a synergistic effect. So that means the action of the oil is increased by mixing several oils together. So you might put lavender in, and then you're going to put a few drops of frankincense in, and by putting that frankincense with the lavender, it's going to create a different effect of the two oils. So neither of those oils by themselves would have that effect, but then putting them together creates this synergy. It's a really amazing, wonderful thing in the world of herbs and essential oils. Then we look at the sequence of the blend. So we're looking at the order in which the oil is blended. So that can also be a really strong factor. Always make sure that you write down your formulations and what order you've put them in, because it can change the smell quite a bit and change the properties along with that as well, which is really interesting. We have a look at the chemical constituents. We've got a fabulous little chemistry graph there of some aromatics on the right. So in general, pure essential oils, we can subdivide them into two distinct groups of the chemical constituents. So you've got the hydrocarbons, and they're made up mostly of terpenes, which you've got your monoterpenes, sesquiterpenes, and diterpenes. And then you've got the oxygenated compounds. So they're mainly esters, aldehydes, ketones, alcohols, phenols, and oxides. Worth looking into more about that if you get some further books and classes on this, you go into that a bit more, but it's good to know. So when we're blending, we look at the general rules. So this is what we should consider when we're mixing the essential oils. So you've got lighter and smaller molecules, and they produce thinner oils, so they're less viscous, and they're more volatile, so with aromatic. Then we've got the heavier and larger molecules, so they produce thicker oils. So you've got your sandalwoods and all of your basy notes. They've got very heavy and large molecules in them, so they're more viscous and they're less volatile. Now, heavier and larger molecules absorb in the body slower, and lighter and smaller molecules absorb in the body faster. But when we blend the lighter molecules with the heavier molecules, this then allows the lighter molecules to last longer. So how cool is that? This is really, it's the key to making perfumes as well. So if you want to try making perfumes, that concept's been used by the perfume industry for years. So the heavier oils that extend the life of the more volatile oils, they're called fixing oils or fixatives, and they're your benzoins and oak moss, sandalwood, vanilla, all of those heavy, lovely base notes. Lang Lang, myrrh, beautiful smells. So here's the notes. So this is a way to classify when you're blending. It's just one of the ways, and we go through quite a few different ways in the extended workshop. But you've got your top and your middle and your base notes. We've sort of briefly touched on those. I've got some handouts in the course materials that go through all of the different oils and what note they are. So the lighter oils are considered the top notes, and the heavier oils are called the base, and then the ones in the middle are the middle notes. So that classification is strict. That's pretty strictly based upon the volatility and viscosity of the oils. I love this guy. His name's Channing Yu, and he's a conductor, and look how happy he looks. So I'd love for you to think, when you're blending your oils, think of the intent of why you're blending it, and then be Channing, be that conductor of happiness. So you're weaving all of the notes together to create a beautiful orchestra of oils, and it's this symphony of smells. It's absolutely beautiful. So there you go, be like Channing. It's really good too. You need to be happy when you're blending. So when you're blending, what utensils do you need? I just took this photo recently of, I was just blending in my apothecary. So there's a couple of different blends. You can see all of the cool colours that have mixed up from the different synergies. So always use non-metallic utensils. Glass is definitely the best. I use glass droppers or glass rods. If you need a really minute amount of oil, you can use a toothpick. Just remember to throw it away and don't use it again. So while plastic is not the best, if you've got nothing else or in a safety situation where glass isn't appropriate, then you can use hard plastic if you need to. But just remember, no metal, no plastic if you can. Glass, glass, glass. Makes everything much better. A lot of the essential oils will actually eat through plastic as well. storing your oils. This is really important. So once you've made your blend, you need to leave enough airspace in the bottle so that the oil can breathe. Then you want to make sure that you've labelled your bottle with the contents of what's in it and what you're using it for. I have made so many blends. I've got an entire cupboard of unlabelled bottles. Really bad form. Don't do what I do. So make sure you label it. And then always keep a record of the formulation. So as I said before, just even that whole sequence of putting things in will make a difference. And it might be that you've put 4 drops of peppermint in the first time, and then you put 3 in the next time. It's going to smell quite different. So always keep a little record of that. Always make sure that your carrier products are of good quality. So your carrier oils, creams, balms, whatever else you're using, always make sure that they're as good a quality as the oils that you're using. And of course, use them safely. Store them safely. So I've got a toddler, so I make sure that everything's locked. Always keep them in a dark wooden box if possible, your oils, so that the sun can't get to them and so that little prying hands can't get to them. We're going to have a look at a basic formula now for anxiety. So we will get one of these small glass beakers, or another suitable, you might have just a glass bottle that you want to put in. So we'll use 2 mils of lavender, 2 mils of frankincense, and we'll put half a mil of mandarin in. And this is a really perfect, beautiful blend that you can then diffuse, or of course you can dilute it in carrier oil for massage. They're pretty safe oils that I've put in there, so they're generally good for lots of people to be able to use. Pregnant people are able to diffuse that. It's fine around kids as well. It's a really joyous, lovely blend. I've just put some of these up. So these are the sorts of things that you need to be looking at with your different essential oils. I've got a whole heap of handouts in these in the course notes for the big workshop. But we look at the essential oil, then we look at the botanical name, we look at all of the actions of it, and then the contraindications. Further from that, we then, with references to the fabulous Robert Tisserand and Rodney Young and their essential oil safety book, we then have a look at all of the maximum dermal allowances for those also. So if you'd like to join me and get access to more of these and things, if you're not already, you can hop onto Facebook and join the Harriet Herbury group. It's facebook.com/groups/Harriet Herbury. That's it here. So that's the Harriet Herbury Apothecary. Or feel free to jump online, harrietherbury.com. There's a whole heap of different blogs on there. There's different essential oil profiles, and we'll be putting more up soon. So enjoy. Hopefully I'll see you at another workshop, and you can grab some of the course notes and things from those. Happy blending. Let me know how you go. Bye.